This is Worth Kick Legend. Today we're going to show you a way of standardizing your pad work. I'm here with my new friend Shawn at Fighting Arts Collective in Midtown Toronto, where he's been showing me a way that he runs through pad progressions to simplify a very complex body of knowledge into a more digestible format. You know, I show a lot of complicated ideas on our channel, and if you can simplify the base roots of all of those aspects, it'll allow you to get through the content a lot more efficiently.
So originally, this system came out of trying to get new students to develop their power in a way that would convey to all of the different techniques that we taught. And so what we've come up with was something just based on jab, cross, hook, which is your basic unit of punching. It's a straight line, and a hook line. And then we have the same thing on the other side, jab, cross, and hook. The main thing about jab, cross, and hook is this weight transfer from foot to foot. So you'll see stepping to the right, turning, and then turning to the left, right? And then, of course, doing the same thing over here, 1, 2, and turning. The next thing we do is we start to illustrate how these moves are the same as the kicks. So, for instance, if we go jab and cross, the hook line here uses a certain footwork. We rotate to the right, and maybe even if we want to get extra power, we step to the right, boom, to get extra linear power to add to the torque. So the next thing we do is jab cross, and then the round kick to show that it's the exact same footwork, just leaning and lifting a little bit. So we could go 1, 2, 3, or 1, 2, 3, and it's the same root motions. And then we just look at all of the other strikes as though they're the same thing. But the rule is, so long as there's weight transfer from left to right, right to left. So everything wants to be a full weight transfer. So we'll go 1, 2, 3. This is our root. But I could also start with 3, 2, 1. Or, for instance, here, 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 and here. And so I don't really have to tell him what he has to strike, because I get used to feeding the strikes that come next. It's really good for me because I'm learning how to read him and how to lead him. He's learning how to read and strike. So come here, 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 good, and there. So the next thing we show is the cover, because one of the things that's really important is that the person understands that they don't drop their cover while they're striking. I might start looking at timing like this, where I'll have them feed 1, 2, and then I'll do it again, and I will show them that they maybe drop their hand. There. And you see the hands coming up sooner and sooner now? There we go. So, or here. And the hand's already up. So I might feed down the middle or the outside. That's the high line. More advanced, I would include the low line. And then more advanced, I'd include the leg lines, inside and out. So then we're looking at this. 1, 2, check it. 1, 2. Here. Good. So the next thing we want to do is we want to start looking at timings. So we could look at the timing of early, where 2 people punch at the same time and it affects the incoming punch. In this case, it moves him aside. So he's going to adjust to the right, boom, and come back, and come forward. And this way it doesn't really interfere with his flow. The next one, I'll block him. So the 1, 2. And we teach the person to trap in here, a little bit of Wing Chun. 1, 2, boom, yeah. And then the next thing we do is we try to hit them while they're landing that shot and they have no cover. So 1, 2, and it results in a bob weave. So if we shoot here, 1, 2 with the cover, he has to bob weave. And we check him, test him to make sure that he's covered. Then we look at even later than that. where it's 1, 2, and he has time to cover, and we go back to cover hit. Cover hit's one of my favorites, comes out of the Western boxing pad drills. So you'll see here, 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 here. Yeah? You can do the same thing with kicks, where it's here, and here, or here, good, or here, yeah? But the main thing about the system and the thing that we like is I've shown you everything in the right lead, but it's a symmetrical system. And the part that I really like is the fact that once you get the basics, you can break it up. In fact, what we look for is that you can create variety, but you can also create a certain BPM or beats per minute, which is going to help him develop his cardio and his speed and his smoothness. And in fact, the more relaxed you are as the feeder, the easier it is to land the strikes. The slower you're moving, the easier it is to step into the right place and learn the distance. So we'll try that for a minute, see how that goes.
This kind of drilling can expose where the little gaps in the execution and the movement work.
There's a moment there where there was this self-acknowledgement of like, oh, that wasn't what I wanted to do. And for me, that's an exciting moment because that's what we want from this drill, and that's the kind of opportunities, that's what gives us an opportunity to learn. Every time that you're out of position, you might be out of range, you might be on the wrong foot, you may have overreacted to the last attack against you, or you may have overcommitted to your own last attack. But every mistake is an opportunity for you to see, well, what are the overriding habits or the overarching habits that are leading to these mistakes? Because if you can be on me every time I feed, then you're in a very central, very simple location. And it means that you trust your gait, you trust your guard, and that you're always firing from the same place. You're developing that consistency in a very inconsistent feed. So we actually like that, sometimes we'll take advantage of giving you more pressure so that maybe you overreact on your defense and step out, and then I'll feed you and you're too far away, right? Because that'll teach you to stay closer when you're defending, right? Or nice. Moving slightly when the person goes for their kick so that they have to take the step. And sometimes teach a beginner how to get a lot of power in their rounds or any of their shots because they're actually moving to it. So we like the mistakes.
This is Roy with Shawn here at Fighting Arts Collective. Hope you found this useful. In the future, we hope to release some more video on Shawn's teaching methodology and promote how he is bringing some complex ideas to even beginner students very quickly. So I really enjoyed my time working with them. So kick legend, keep your chin down, elevate your striking.